Hello again, I'm Nahid from Synthon Media, and this is the second lesson in our series on how to integrate Metapixel and Conversions API using Google Tag Manager for e-commerce conversion tracking. So in our first lesson, we took a look at how to integrate a Metapixel on our website using Google Tag Manager, learned about tags and events, and we also set up a few tags on our Google Tag Manager web container to send event data from browser side to our Facebook pixel. Now today we're going to learn how we can do the same from server side. So from browser side, the browser side integration has limitation in the sense that plenty of browsers like Apple Safari or Mozilla Firefox restricts sending data using third-party cookies, like directly integrating Facebook Metapixel on our website or even integrating Metapixel using Google Tag Manager. These are all browser-side integration. Today we're going to learn about server-side integration that will help us bypass these sort of browser restrictions and send data straight from our website server to any third-party platforms like Facebook or Google Analytics or Google Ads, etc. So let's begin our lesson today with Google Analytics. For server-side integration, we're going to need a Google Analytics account, property, and data stream. So let's create them first. So as you can see, we are in our Google Analytics account. Here you need to go to settings, admin, in the admin section we click on this create button to create a new account. For this account, let's put our account name same as our test website name. So our test website is well, just like how we named our events manager to Pixel as Synthon CAPI 1, and our Google Tag Manager account for this lesson is also named Synthon CAPI 1. So let's put the same name in our Google Analytics account. Okay, we have our account name put in, Google products and services. You don't need to check in this box anyways. Just press on next. Property details. What are we going to name this property? So let's name this property as our website name. Or we can just put in, let's say, dev Synthon 1. Okay, because our website name goes into our data stream. My country is Bangladesh and time zone is Bangladesh time zone. Let's keep the currency to US dollar for simplicity now. Go to next. Business size, put in small. Industry category, definitely shopping and retail. Yes, it goes into shopping and retail. Next, choose your business objective. Okay, drive online sales definitely for our e-commerce tracking. Then you check in the box of data processing terms. I accept. Now, while choosing a platform, we're obviously going to choose web because we are integrating our website with this Google Analytics account. Let's select web. After that, we can set up our website data stream. Here we have to put in our website domain name. Including our top level domain, and screen name we can put in let's say CAPI 1. Okay, and in terms of measuring, we have everything. We need. Let's just create this stream now. So once this stream has been created, we get a measurement ID. We can simply, skip this part. This is not necessary. We require this measurement ID. This measurement ID we're going to add to our and after copying the measurement ID, we just need to do one more small thing here. Continue to home. We have to go to admin again. In admin, we go to our account. Yes, we are in the right account. We have to go to data collection and modification, data streams. We can go there from here as well. We have to just go to this data collection portion. In data collection, you press on Google Signals data collection, turn this on. Turning this on would allow us to get gender, geographical data, etc. from our users. Okay, that's all we need to do. Now that we're done with our Google Analytics setup, let's jump into our Google Tag Manager. So in Google Tag Manager, we first go to our web container. In our web container, we will have to create a few variables first. Refresh. Let's create the variables we need. So we would require some first party cookie variables. So the measurement ID we have created in our data stream, we're going to put it in a constant variable, so it could be used multiple times in wherever we need it to use. Let's call it GA4 measurement ID, and we need to create an event ID. This event ID is essential for data deduplication between browser-side event data and server-side event data. This event ID will identify that a specific event, let's say a user purchased a product on your website, that same event data would be sent both from browser side and from server side, and the event ID would help Facebook Pixel identify that these two data coming from two different sources um, direct to the same event, and you will not have the problem of um, double counting your purchase events or add to cart events or any other e-commerce events. So to get the event ID, we can go into community template gallery and select event ID template. We can use the event ID template by stake.io, or Embarrass is also an acceptable option. So I'm going with Embarrass. Let's put in the event ID. I guess there is some problem with my connection. Click on event ID. Yep. We will name it event ID. Another event to require is so all our variables are done. Let's move on to our necessary triggering. So for creating the Google tag for GA4 page view event, we don't need any um, custom triggering option. We can do it with default triggers that is already in Google Tag Manager. Let's go into tags and create a new tag. Here we are going to configure our Google tag. In Google tag, we first have to put in the tag ID. The tag ID is basically the measurement ID for our Google Analytics 4. If we click on and type in 2 second brackets, then we can go type in ID. All the types of IDs we have show up here. GA4 measurement ID. We're going to put in this, and along with the GA4 measurement ID, we need to put in some parameters. So can go to configuration settings and add parameters. So we have to put in our server container URL. Remember the server container we created on state.io. We're going to take the tagging server URL provided by state.io. This is where all our event data is going to be stored in the tagging server. So we have to add it to our GA4 configuration tag, or you can call it the page view tag. And now to avoid having double event data being sent from both server side and browser side, we have to go into the shared event settings, add a parameter here. This parameter will be event ID. That's all done. Now we can name this tag GA4 page view tag. And just save. Now let's quickly create one more event. We can do the initiate checkout event, which has already been created for Facebook Pixel, or we can do something simpler like the okay, let's create the Facebook initiate checkout event. Same event for GA4. How we do it? We go to new, and because this is a Google Analytics event tag, we would have to click on Google Analytics and take a Google Analytics GA4 event tag. In measurement ID, we have our measurement ID. Event name would be begin checkout. Event parameters. Then we need to add in the parameters. are the same as the values will be same as what we had for uh, Facebook pixel browser site tags. So they will be for content type it's product, content name, DLV, item name, content IDs, DLV, item ID or value, DLV, value, mm, tirelessly, and we need an extra um, parameter for the GA4 tags. The value of this parameter would be we have to create it in a variable. Let's go to our variables. We can add a variable. So we will go into DLV. Okay. After that, we have to set on the trigger. We have created the custom event of begin checkout event. Event name begin checkout. Now, what we need to do is add these event ID. In the more settings option of all the Facebook pixel events. to avoid deduplication of the same event data being sent from both browser side and server side. So now that we have set up both the um, Facebook Pixel browser side event and Google Analytics for server side event, these data would not be sent to conversion API of our in our events manager. To do that, we need to first set up our conversion API tag in our server container of Google Tag Manager. So we already have the Google Analytics 4 as our client. In tags, we will have to create the Facebook conversion API tag, but before that, we're going to create triggers. In the triggers, we need to create a custom trigger. The trigger fires on some events. In the event name, we are going to use matches regex because with the same trigger, we are going to set up send data for multiple events which occur both on browser side and on server side. So we're going to put in the events here. Let's see what are the events we have. You can easily find the event names from our Google Analytics 4. So you can take this page view event from the event tag we have set up for GA4 and put it in our Google Tag Manager server container trigger. Then we would also require name of the begin checkout event. Let's call it now we set up the tag, press on new, go to conversion API tag. We can select the Facebook conversion API by state.io because all our event data is being saved on state.io container anyways. The conversions API tag from Facebook Incubator works as well. None of it would be problematic. So I'm selecting state.io. Now we need to put all the information here. This is leave these fields as default. Let's go to API access token. Where we can find the API access token, we have to go into our events manager, go into the settings of our pixel, and if we start scrolling down, Then come to this conversion API portion and set up direct integration, generate access token. Click on copy code to clipboard, then go to our Google Tag Manager, API access token, paste it here. Facebook Pixel ID, we already have it as Pixel ID, but that is in our web container, not in our server container. We have to select the Pixel ID from our settings section of the Pixel, paste it here, and the test ID to make sure that when we are testing whether our Facebook Pixel and Conversions API has been set up properly or not, we can get the data. We are going to add this test event code to our Facebook Conversion API tag on our GTM server computer. Let's add it here, custom item ID key. This is not necessary for us. What else do we need? And all we need to do is just add our trigger, the trigger we created for our conversion API. Now name it FB conversion API. Save it. Okay, so we are done. Now if we test from our Facebook Pixel, we should be getting data for these two events, which are page view event and begin checkout event from both our browser side and our server side. To test it, we first need to submit and publish. Just continue. Need to do the same for our server side. We can put in our website URL and start testing in our events manager. So page view event has been fired. And check if begin checkout is working or not. Let's add a product to cart. Go to checkout level. Initiate checkout is working as well. So when we get to the checkout page on our site, we have the begin checkout tag firing, and if we go into begin checkout tag, both the Facebook initiate checkout and GA4 begin checkout tags have fired. Now, if we go into our events manager, we can see that data is coming from both browser and server side. In overview, we can see, well, our integration is still not showing up. It takes some time for data to get to the overview section, but in test events, where we can get real-time data, we can see that initiate checkout event and page view event, both of which have been set up for Facebook Pixel browser side and GA4 server side, are getting to Facebook's Pixel without any hitch, and they have been deduplicated. So when someone goes to our website and, let's say, add some products to their cart, use their cart and initiates checkout, this is a single event. The data would be sent both from the browser side and from the server side to our Facebook Pixel, but because of deduplication, it would not be counted as two events. Okay, so that's what we got in our today's lesson. We learned how we can set up our Google Analytics account and property. We learned how we can integrate it with our Google Tag Manager web container, how to create tags for our Google Analytics 4 account and integrate it in our integrate the conversions API in our server container in Google Tag Manager, and how we can create a single trigger for our conversion API, Facebook conversion API, and in that single trigger we can fire all the events we want to send data for to our Facebook Pixel. So in next lesson we will move on further and learn about how we can get to a variety of custom events, and we are going to learn about form tracking besides this e-commerce strategy. So till next time, stay well.